What is up, my friends? Welcome to Flippin Bats. Sunday in Major League Baseball was one of the wildest days that I can remember in a long, long time. Rafael Devers has been traded to the San Francisco Giants amidst all the chaos and all the drama this year in Boston that we've talked about a ton. And a lot of people were saying it's nothing. Devers is fine in Boston. He's happy. It's a big nothing burger. It is, and he's now out the door and traded to the San Francisco Giants. Obviously, going to talk all about that. What it means from a Giants perspective, sure. But oh my gosh, do I have some words to say about the Boston Red Sox. I cannot believe they messed this up as badly as they did. But Rafael Devers has been traded to the San Francisco Giants. More big news regarding Shohei Ohtani, who today, Monday, out of nowhere, is scheduled to be the starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers against the San Diego Padres. There were 9 sweeps over the weekend in Major League Baseball. We have power rankings, of course, because it's Monday. Quite the shift in those power rankings as well. There's so much to talk about. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about this Devers situation. Rafael Devers has been traded to the San Francisco Giants, one of the best hitters in baseball, number 3 in RBIs in baseball this year. He's an absolute stud of a hitter. It's exactly what the Giants needed. But let's talk about the Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox are just continually putting up a facade. They traded the face of their franchise once again. Another player, another face of your franchise out the door, gone. And look, this all started in 1920 when the Boston Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. And it hasn't slowed down since then. You acquired Rafael Devers, Mookie Betts, and Xander Bogaerts as teenagers. Every single one of those guys. You got them in-house as teenagers. And then in 2018, the Boston Red Sox went on to win 108 games. They went 11-3 on their playoff run, won the World Series. You had Mookie Betts, Devers, and Bogaerts. They all turned 26, 26, and 22. The stage was set for legitimately the next decade for the Boston Red Sox. You had your core. They were young. They're studs. They're superstars. And instead of just doing right by those 3, doing right by your fan base with those 3 that you had locked up or that you should have locked up for the next decade, instead, those 3, every single one of them, now finds themselves in the NL West battling against each other for the NL West title. All 3. You messed up all 3. Not a single player from the 2018 World Series Boston Red Sox team is still there. The core, completely gone. All the other help, completely gone. Absolutely ridiculous. This was an organizational failure on every single level with every single one of these players. Every one. Especially this Devers one. This is almost worse than the Mookie Betts one. Mookie wasn't locked up for the next 10 years. Rafael Devers is a year and a half in to a 10-year contract. 10 years. And this is what happens. And look, I know there's people that are saying, well, now there was all this drama and the financial flexibility that comes from it. Spare me that. Are you kidding? Look, for multiple reasons, this is a massive organizational failure from the top down. One, I get Craig Breslow comes in. There's a little bit of animosity. He's not the one that signed him to this deal and gave him all the reassurance that you're going to be our third baseman. Craig Breslow wasn't that guy, but he's messed this up from the second he got here. The drama early in the year. I said this from the start. Look, Rafael Devers is at fault. I think he could have handled the situation better, but the Red Sox organization is more at fault. They handled it miserably. They didn't talk to him. They signed a third baseman. They tell him he's going to move. Then they tell him to go back. Then they tell him to play first base. Then they tell him to put a glove away. They handled it miserably. So all of this drama that's stirred up, could Devers have handled it better? Sure. But I get that he had some frustration with all of it. And Breslow's at the heart of that. So he's not the guy that signed him to that deal and gave him all the reassurance. So I do think there's a bit of like this personal beef with him. I think this is why it's happened. I don't think the situation was unfixable. By all accounts, all the players are like, Devers is really happy. And since his slump to start the year, 0 for 22 or whatever it was, he's been a top 3 hitter in the game of baseball. He's been absolutely killing it. This situation was not unfixable. This situation, this year, everybody was making mistakes. The front office, Devers didn't handle it well. But sure, okay, look, let's just have him DH this year, and then in the offseason, we're going to sit him down and say, we need you. We need you. We messed up. We're sorry the way we handled it and put you in the limelight and made you feel like the bad guy and the enemy for not wanting to move. That's our bad. We would love for you to work on playing first base. We would love for you to be our first baseman moving forward. We would love to figure out something together. But look, who cares right now? The guy's raking. You just sweep the Boston Red Sox, or you just sweep the New York Yankees. Your rival, you sweep them to get over 500 into the playoff picture. Vibes are high. Post game, Rafael Devers is saying, "Yeah, I think we still have a ways to go, but I think things are trending upwards." This is minutes before he was traded. He didn't even know. My point with this is I didn't feel like the situation was unfixable. I more so feel like it's personal beef with Craig Breslow saying, you know what? You're not going to do what we want you to do. We pay over $300 million to be the guy here. You're not upholding the responsibility that a $300 million man should. We're going to ship you out of town. Thanks for everything. See you later. That's what it feels like. It feels like a personal beef. And then I don't feel the return you got is near enough. It's kind of like the return being as bad as it is just kind of a kick in the tail of what the bigger issue is here. It's like, oh, great. Just kick a guy while he's down. We couldn't even get a return. No. Jordan Hicks, who, what is he? Is he a starter? Is he a reliever? He has a ballooned ERA this year, however. Kyle Harrison, who also high ERA. By the way, you trade for him. He's one of the big pieces, and you send him to AAA immediately. He was supposed to be the starting pitcher for the San Francisco Giants on Sunday Night Baseball against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And then you trade for him and say, look at this return. Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and James Tibbs, the first rounder last year for the Giants out of FSU. Are you kidding me? And then you send one of them to AAA? The timing of it after the sweep, getting back into playoff position, the return, it's all brutal. Again, I think this is almost worse than the Mookie situation because he wasn't under contract for the next decade. So, okay. A legitimate question then comes about after all of this. Again, handled miserably. Once again, letting the franchise down, letting the fan base down. Devers, Bogarts, Betts, all out the door. Again, this is a facade. They're putting up this facade that this is some big market organization that's going to do whatever they can to keep their guys in house and make the fan base happy. You're doing the opposite. You are making the fan base turn against you. You're making it hard to root for your team. You're making it hard to attach to a player. You're making it hard for a young Boston Red Sox kid and fan to grow up and say, oh my God, I love Mookie Betts. He's my favorite player in the world. Sorry, kid. He's gone. Okay, I love Xander Bogaerts. Sorry, kid. He's gone. Okay, I'll give you one more chance. I love Rafael Devers. He's here on a 10-year contract. Wrong. There was drama. Out the door. All to the NL West. It's embarrassing. And if you mess this situation up so bad that you had to send him out of town, maybe like something was wrong to begin with. it's mind blowing to me. So, okay, you messed that up again. Turn the page. What does turning the page look like? I understand what everyone's saying when they say, okay, well, there's so much more financial flexibility now. Spare me with financial flexibility. Who are you going to get that's remotely close to Rafael Devers? Well, there's one player. I think there's one way, there's only one way that the Boston Red Sox can make this remotely okay. And it's if they sign Kyle Tucker this offseason to a long term deal. That's it. Where do you put that money? It has to be Kyle Tucker. You got to blow it up. Run with these kids. Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell. That's your core. Maybe it's the beginning of what it was years ago in 2018 with Betts, Devers, and Bogarts. Are they going to be as good, all three? I would hope. I hope so. But like, don't mess this up. I think that's what happens. Legitimately. The team in the here and now is not as good. You're an above 500 team in a weak American League. I think you were a playoff team. Now I don't think you're a playoff team. So what happens? I think they miss the playoffs. I think Craig Breslow, I think this is fireable. I think if the Boston Red Sox don't make the playoffs, Craig Breslow needs to go. And then you start over and you go get everything. You put all of your eggs in Kyle Tucker's basket. All of them. And you get that done. Who else is out there? There's a lot of pitching, plenty of pitching. Offensively, well, I think Alex Bregman might opt out. If he keeps playing this well, he's got his opt out. He should. So Alex Bregman, do you get him in free agency? Pete Alonso. Offensively, Kyle Tucker is the answer. Starting pitching wise, there's plenty. There's a lot of starting pitching. But I think the only way the Red Sox can make this situation remotely right is by signing Kyle Tucker in the offseason. So this trade goes down Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, right after their game, right after sweeping the New York Yankees, and then the team hops on a flight to Seattle. But then we hear late last night that Craig Breslow is going to be holding a press conference on Monday. And then I wake up Monday to hear that Craig Breslow is going to be holding his press conference at 8 p.m. Monday night. 8 p.m. tonight. He's holding his press conference. This should have happened the second the plane landed in Seattle. Get in front of it and say, look, everybody, stand down. Here's our plan. It was not easy trading Devers. We thought we had to get something for him. The situation, there's no right answer. You look bad however you say it, but you got to face the music right in front of you. This should have happened the second the plane landed. And now it's 8 p.m. on Monday via Zoom. Face the media in person, you coward. Zoom? That's a joke. At 8 p.m.? God, the mishandling of this whole situation, the core three, the mishandling of that will forever live on in Red Sox history. The same as Babe Ruth, to be honest with you. 1920, the Red Sox started doing this. 1920. They traded away arguably the greatest player of all time. And it's continually been the ethos of the Red Sox organization. Yep, we trade away our best players. That's what we are. Thanks for 2018, guys. 2018. That was our year. 108 wins, World Series, Mookie, Bogarts, Devers. Thank you guys. Then we had to figure out how to pay all of you and keep you in house, and we chickened out. We screwed you over. We screwed the fan base over. We set our franchise back. Who knows? Decades. Maybe. Who knows? But Devers is out the door and on his way to the San Francisco Giants. Red Sox messed it up bad. Spare me the financial flexibility. Again, I view it as there's one way to make it even remotely okay, and that's going to sign Kyle Tucker. If you don't do that, then we won't know for months. And that's if the Cubs don't extend him. Kyle Tucker might not even hit free agency if the Cubs extend him. Who knows if that'll happen, but we'll see. Timing, brutal. Return, brutal. The look for the fan base, brutal. Everybody should be pissed. And everybody is pissed. Everybody. I was getting so many texts last night from Red Sox fans just going off. Going off. This trade wouldn't have even gone down in MLB The Show. That's what I kept hearing. Just people going off. And it's true. That trade would not have gone down in MLB The Show. It's crazy. They messed it up big time. Let's talk about it from a San Francisco Giants perspective, because everybody's pointing the finger at the Red Sox saying, how could you? How dare you? Look, let's talk about it from a Giants perspective. Giants are getting one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. Buster Posey deserves a ton of credit here. A ton. Buster Posey continues to revive the franchise, the organization, the fan base. Look, the money has been burning a hole in this ownership's pocket for years to this point. They tried to get Aaron Judge. They've been going after all these players. They've been in the mix, but they fall just short. In our eyes, just short. So the money's been there, but I really do think Buster Posey being in charge is what is changing everything. I know from my brother's perspective, it was a big selling point. I can't speak for Willy Adames, but I know they got a guy at shortstop in Willy Adames, and now they get Rafael Devers in-house. I know that wasn't specifically Devers' choice because of Buster Posey, but the trade goes down because of Buster Posey. His hiring has revived the team and the fan base. It's clear and obvious that they want to win. They have wanted to spend, and now with Buster Posey at the helm, all of the pieces that were just barely not fitting and falling into place are now falling into place. I love this for them. I love this signing. He's less than 2 years into a 10-year deal. You have your guy for potentially 8 more years. What does it look like exactly? Well, that's up for interpretation. I actually don't think, and I tweeted this yesterday when it happened, I don't think the San Francisco Giants and Buster Posey pull the trigger on this without some sort of agreement that Devers is going to play a little bit of first base. What does that look like right in the here and now? Well, Matt Chapman is on the IL. So does Rafael Devers come over and play third base for the next month until Chapman's back? I don't know. Does he move to first base? I think there's a willingness to. I think the drama with Boston just made him be like, no, I'm not doing this. You guys have treated me like crap. I'm not just going to move to first base. I think there's a chance he plays first base for the Giants. I think in the here and now, he's going to DH. I think Wilmer Flores probably moves to first base. I think there's a willingness. That's my only thought here is I think Devers may play first base, and I don't think they would have agreed to a trade without him being like, yeah, I'm open to playing first base. So we'll see. But the largest contracts in Giants history aren't all that crazy. You have Willy Adames, 7 years, 182, Buster Posey, 9 years, 167, and Matt Chapman, 6 years, 151. So 2 of those 3 are currently on your team, but there's so much financial flexibility with this team. They're taking on every dollar of this contract. Every dollar. That's a big part of it from the Red Sox perspective. You got that contract off of the books, which still pisses me off, but the Giants are taking on every dollar, but they had the financial flexibility to do it. Now, here's where I think this is interesting, and I was really thinking about this a lot last night. When it comes to the Giants, they've constantly wanted a bat and needed a bat, and they've been going after it in free agency, but just falling short until Willy Adames was a guy they wanted, and they went out and got him. Why is that? This is why I like this so much from an offensive perspective. He's a massive left-handed bat, one of the biggest left-handed bats in Major League Baseball, and now you have him. I think the Giants have struggled to sign offensive players because of how hard it is to hit in San Francisco. Players don't want to play there. Offensive guys don't want to go there for their numbers to go down. It's just true. It is harder to hit there, especially at night. Only one, and this finally happened last year, only one right-handed hitter has ever hit a baseball into McCovey Cove. There's been one splash hit from a righty. That wall is less than 320 feet away. It's short. And then the stands aren't very long. It's not distance-wise very far to hit the ball into McCovey Cove. But only one righty has ever done it. The ball does not fly in San Francisco. So it's harder to sign guys offensively. So what do? Well, you see this once in a lifetime situation unfolding where this young talent just signed a decade-long contract to be on a team, and then all this drama unfolds, and there's talks of, is he going to get out? Are they going to trade him? Does he want to be there? Is he happy? It's truly this crazy situation unfolding. And what Buster Posey did was he said, I really think this. Okay, we have this opportunity. It is hard for us to sign guys like this in free agency. A lot of guys don't want to come here because of the offensive production that will be put up. It won't be the same. This is Coors Field in Colorado, but the opposite. It is hard to hit in San Francisco, especially at night. We have this opportunity right in front of us where we can go and get the bat that we have always wanted in our lineup that doesn't sign here in free agency. We can go get it via trade and have him locked up for the next 8.5 years. This is the perfect storm. We have to pounce, and they did. Buster Posey did. A lot of credit is due to him. A lot of flack is being given to the Boston Red Sox here and how miserably they messed that up, but a lot of credit needs to be given to Buster Posey and Giants front office for taking advantage of everything that was unfolding in Boston. I love this move for them. The Giants are good, and they just got better. They, on Sunday, had a chance to win a game against the Los Angeles Dodgers and tie them atop of the NL West. Obviously, they ended up losing that game. They lost 5-4. They had a chance. Their starting pitcher was supposed to be Kyle Harrison. So last second, your starting pitcher in a massive game is a late scratch, and you have to start Sean Jelly. It didn't go great. But regardless, you end up losing that game. Had a great opportunity to tie atop the division. And now your team that is good, I've said it all year, Giants are good, just got even better. I love this move for them. And now, guess what? Fast forward in your calendar just a couple days. Mark it down. San Francisco Giants and Rafael Devers take on the Boston Red Sox in San Francisco this Friday. We are four days away from immediately getting a Giants-Red Sox, Devers versus the Red Sox game. What are the odds of that? The team, they're Red Sox and Giants in interleague play. What are the odds of that? We're 4 days away from getting that. Friday night, 3-game set, Giants and Red Sox. I can't wait. Good for the Giants. That's one thing I want to specifically say because I knew I was going to light up the Red Sox. It's deserved. Everybody should be lighting up the Red Sox. But one thing I did want to say, because not a ton of people are taking the time deserved to give to Buster Posey and that Giants front office. They saw the opportunity. Honestly, I don't even want to say generation, once in a lifetime opportunity for this sort of player on this sort of contract with this sort of drama and situation to arise. They pounced on it. A ton of credit is given there. And now he's going to be, who knows where he plays. Matt Chapman is going to play third base. He's a gold glover, platinum glover, one of the best defensive third basemen we've seen. He's going to play third base. He's on a long-term contract. Does Devers end up playing first base? Does Devers continually DH and Flores moves to first for now? I don't know. But the old saying goes, if you hit, there's going to be a place for you in the lineup. Devers is going to hit. That's what he is to this Giants team. He's a 3-hitter. You plug him right in the middle of the lineup. He's going to hit you 30-plus homers. He's going to drive in 100-plus runs, and he's going to be a guy in your lineup for a decade. That's what he is, and that's what the Giants got. Good on the Giants, bad on the Red Sox. That's what this Rafael Devers trade is. And things just kept going on Sunday. There was just so much. It was Father's Day. There's a lot of excitement, buzz around the league, all these cute videos coming out, these players with their kids and the players with their dads. And it's an emotional day around Major League Baseball. All of a sudden, we're getting all these sweeps out of nowhere. Rafael Devers is traded to the Giants. And then out of nowhere, we're hearing, okay, and literally over the weekend, we get an update on Shohei Ohtani pitching. Shohei Ohtani's stuff is game ready, is what Dave Roberts was saying. He could be back before the All-Star game, is what Dave Roberts is saying. It's kind of coming out of nowhere. Like, wait a second. Okay, Shohei's stuff is great, and his timetable is being sped up, and we might see him soon. And then Sunday after the Devers trade, we hear starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers on Monday night against the San Diego Padres is going to be Shohei Ohtani. The GOAT is back. The greatest player that I have ever seen. I think the greatest player of all time is now back to doing what makes him the greatest player of all time. Shohei Ohtani back on the mound, starting pitcher Monday night. It's been 663 days since we have seen Shohei Ohtani on the mound as a pitcher in Major League Baseball, and now he's back. Here's what it looks like. He ain't going to go out and throw 7 innings on Monday. He's being viewed as an opener, and he's not expected to go deep into games for the near future. So he's going to be the opener. Does that mean 1 inning? Does that mean 2 innings? I don't know. I'm not so sure anybody knows. As with everything with Shohei Ohtani, it's going to be, we're going to do things your way. You're the greatest player we've ever seen. You're the best talent of all time. Your stuff looks game ready. Let's throw you out there. You're going to be our opener. You tell us how you're feeling. Look, this is the first one. Monday's the first one. If he goes more than 2 innings, I would be a little bit shocked. I think we see 1 inning, maybe 2 innings, and then here's why I love this, though. Because you're just going to allow him to ramp up at his pace. You need a pitcher. The Dodgers pitching situation is not good. It was just announced over the weekend that Roki Sasaki is being shut down. He's just having arm discomfort whenever he throws a baseball. Really no timetable for him. He's shut down. You don't have him in the rotation. You don't have Glasnow in the rotation. You don't have Blake Snell in the rotation. You need pitching help. And as everyone on the team has continually said, including Dave Roberts, Shohei Ohtani pitching is just icing on the cake. He doesn't take up a roster spot of a pitcher. So we can start him in a game. He doesn't take up a roster spot. Great, that helps us. And then it allows him to ramp up as he wants. This is why I love how they're going to handle this. Shohei Ohtani is a starting pitcher. There's never been a doubt of that. Shohei Ohtani is going to be the starter. I know everyone talks about, well, could we see him as a closer? Not right now. He's always going to be a starter. But the way they're doing it isn't, okay, we need him to ramp up, but his stuff is game ready. How do we handle it? Well, game one back, he's going to be our opener for the near future. What does that look like? I don't know. He's going to go out and throw 1 inning. If he comes out and he says, yep, that's good, then he's going to be done. Maybe next start he goes 2 innings. Maybe the following start he goes 3 innings. Then another 3 innings. Then 4 innings. He'll just continually ramp up, but his stuff is game ready. Which means I love getting him back in the routine of being a starting pitcher. Allowing him to go out and do his routine pregame and then get in the bullpen and ramp up and then be the starting pitcher and go at his pace. I love that. You're a good team. You know you're going to make the playoffs. You feel good about your chances of winning the division. You know Shohei Ohtani is going to be a part of that. His stuff is game ready. So what's the point of delaying this any further? Sure, he needs to ramp up. He ain't going to go out and throw 80 pitches in the first game or the second game. But let's have him ramp up as an opener for us. We desperately need it. He's a stud. He's the greatest player ever. Let's do this. I love it. I think this is great. But again, it came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, with less than 24 hours notice, it's Shohei Ohtani is going to be the Monday starter against the Padres in that huge rivalry matchup. Ticket prices have already gone up 174%. Shohei's going to throw an inning or 2, and ticket prices have skyrocketed. I love this. It's been 663 days, and the greatest player of all time will now be back to doing what makes him the greatest player of all time. That's being a starting pitcher, a Cy Young type of pitcher. Let's not forget, we're a couple years removed. Just a few years ago, he was in the top 5 of the Cy Young voting. He's had a sub-3 ERA for the last multiple years of him pitching. This guy's a stud. And now he's back on the mound. He's also one of the best hitters that we've seen as well. Which over the weekend, I was at the Saturday game. Shohei Ohtani hit 2 home runs. He led off the game with a no-doubt homer, and then he hit one later. That one later was his 250th career homer. So we are talking about this player coming back and pitching on the mound, and he just reached 250 career homers. What did that milestone put him in elite territory for? Well, it's this. He reached 250 career home runs and 150 career stolen bases in 944 games. That is the fewest in Major League Baseball history. He broke the record of Alex Rodriguez, who did it in 977 games. So you might think, wow, 33 games. That's pretty crazy. Well, Shohei Ohtani only did it in actually 928 games of those because early on in his career, when he was pitching, he wouldn't hit. So he's only hit in 928 of those 944 games, meaning he did it in 49 less games than the next fastest in Major League Baseball history. That is the greatest baseball player of all time. He's the greatest talent that any of us have ever seen. That's consensus, I think. I mean, I guess it's an opinion, but you talk to pretty much anybody, and yeah, he's the greatest talent we've ever seen. I consider him the greatest player of all time. I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people say they need to see more. They need to see this. They need to see more World Series. He needs to do it for more time. I hear you. I get it. For me, he's the greatest player of all time. And now, Monday night, he's back to doing what makes him the greatest baseball player of all time. 250 homers, 150 stolen bases, and the fewest amount of games in Major League history by far. And now he's back to being a starting pitcher, where over the last couple of years, when he does pitch, he has a sub-3 ERA and a K through 9 in elite territory. God, I'm so pumped up for this. I can't wait. Shohei's back, baby. The GOAT is back on the mound. Monday night against the Padres, Shohei will be back as the starting pitcher. The opener. Does he go 1 inning, 2 innings, 3 innings? I don't know. But he's back, and I can't wait. A ton of big news over the weekend. Really just Sunday. Devers out of nowhere. Blockbuster trade from out of left field. Nobody saw this coming. And then this Shohei news, also out of left field. Nobody saw this coming either. Crazy. It was also a crazy weekend. There were 9 sweeps across the weekend. Crazy. But it's Monday. Let's talk power rankings. 10 through 1, an updated, new and improved Major League Baseball power rankings. I put it out every Monday morning on our social media, Flippin Bats pod, and everybody really goes crazy over these. They really do. Let's start with number 10. The Tampa Bay Rays. The first time this year the Rays have entered the top 10. They are 39-32. They are just 3.5 games back of the Yankees in the AL East. They swept the Mets. 3-game sweep of the Mets over the weekend. The Rays have figured out how to win at that ballpark in Tampa. They're dangerous at home. They're playing good baseball on the road now as well. This team for a couple weeks has been absolutely rolling. I've just been waiting for the right opportunity to put them in the top 10, and this was it. Sweeping the Mets, who last week were at number 2 in the power rankings. They sweep them. Rays are rolling, 39-32. Next up, at number 9, the San Francisco Giants. They are 41-31. They're 2 games back in the NL West of the Dodgers. Look, they've been playing good baseball, but they did get walked off against the Rockies in the final game of that series, the worst team of all time. And then you lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. It was a very good series. You win the first game. The rubber match on Sunday was a great game, but you end up losing it. So I ended up keeping them the same. They do acquire Devers. I think that's huge for them. If they had won the game and won the series and tied atop the division with the Dodgers, I would have bumped them up a good bit. But that didn't happen. So for right now, they're playing pretty good baseball. They did beat the Rockies in a series, but they should have swept the Rockies in that series. They blew a game late. Then they lose the series to the Dodgers. They acquire Devers. I kept them the same, but we could be seeing them move up a little further here soon. At number 8, the New York Yankees, down 2 spots. They got swept by Boston over the weekend. This one's easy. They got swept by Boston. Brutal, brutal, brutal series for the Yankees. They're still winning the AL East, but I bumped them down 2 spots to number 8. At number 7, the San Diego Padres also down 2 spots. They're 3 games back in the NL West. They lost to the Dodgers early in the week. Then they lost to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but lost both series. Really bad series against the D-backs. 4-game set starts now with the Dodgers. They got to win a couple of those games, I think. They're down 2 spots. Just because they lost both series on the week. At number 6, up 2 spots, the Philadelphia Phillies. They've won 4 in a row. They really dropped last week after the worst week they've had, worst 10-game stretch they've had. But now they're back. Won 4 games in a row. Phillies are a good team. They're 42-29, 2.5 games back of the Mets in the NL East. They're heating back up. Move them back up to number 6. At number 5, back in the top 5. Is the Houston Astros, up 2 spots. The Houston Astros are 41-30. They are very, very quietly going on a run right now. They're 4.5 games up in the AL West. They've won 8 of their last 10. This team's legit. It looks different than it ever has for the Houston Astros, especially over the last decade. It just looks different. A lot of your stars are gone. Your core is mostly gone. But you acquire the right pieces, and now they're just going on a run very quietly. People aren't really talking about it. The Astros have 20 come-from-behind wins this year. They're 4-0 in extra innings. And why is that? Because the back end of their bullpen is fantastic. Clutch hitting late in games, but the back end of their bullpen is fantastic. Very quietly, the best back end of the bullpen in baseball. People just don't really like talking about the Astros. People are tired of the Astros. People are bored of the Astros. People are mad at the Astros. But they just continue to prove that they're inevitable. Josh Hader and Brian Abreu both have 1.45 ERAs. Josh Hader's got 18 consecutive saves. The back end of the bullpen for the Astros is the best in baseball. You pair that with clutch late hitting. You pair that with good starting pitcher. Framber and Hunter Brown are gross. And what you have is a team that's 41-30, still continuing to heat up. They don't even have Yordan Alvarez. They've been doing this without Yordan. They've been doing this without Christian Walker really being the Christian Walker that I think he will be. He's finally starting to show signs of heating up. Isaac Paredes over there at third base has been great. Cam Smith is one of the best defensive right fielders in baseball, by the way. Shout out Cam Smith. Was a third baseman. Beginning of the year, it's like, hey, man, we might need you to play right field for us. He's been one of the best right fielders in baseball. This Astros team is legit and very quietly going on an absolute run. And now they are back in the top 5 of my power rankings. Why? Everyone say it with me. Why? Because the Houston Astros are inevitable. That's why. And they're here at number 5. Let's move on to number 4. The New York Mets down 2 spots. Why? Because of that sweep I mentioned earlier. They got swept by the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 45-27. They're winning the NL East, but you get swept over the weekend. Not a good look. Had to bump them down a couple spots. At number 3, up 1 spot from where they were last week, is the Chicago Cubs. 44-28, leading the NL Central. Okay week for the Cubs. Really had to bump them. They're up 1 spot because they flip-flopped with the Mets. But they won 3 out of 4 in their long weekend series with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they should win 3 out of 4. But I bumped them up 1 spot. And number 2 is the Los Angeles Dodgers, also up 1 spot. Big series win for the Los Angeles Dodgers over the weekend against the San Francisco Giants. Could have lost 2 of 3 and been in a tie at the top of the division, but they won some big games Saturday and Sunday, back-to-back, to get them back atop the division. Not back atop, but to stay atop. They're up 2 games in the division now. They're 43-29. You get Ohtani back on the mound now. You got a 4-game set against the San Diego Padres. Big series. The NL West is tight. I know everybody thought it was just going to be this runaway, but the weakness for the Dodgers was their health, and they are going through it right now. Their starting pitching health is just in a bad place. They do get Shohei back. That's huge for them, and they did win a big series against the San Francisco Giants after losing that first one and being in a tie atop the division. Then they won the next 2. Huge for them. They're up 1 spot. And at number 1, still number 1, still the most wins in all of Major League Baseball, and still the best team in Major League Baseball It's the Detroit Tigers. 46-27. They are 9 games up in the AL Central. Yes, they did. They lost the weekend series to the Cincinnati Reds. Not a great team. Reds are playing better, though. But they lost that series. But who am I going to put at number one? Nobody, I would say, is directly deserving of okay, those teams right around the top, 2, 3, 4. Last week was the Mets, Dodgers, and Cubs. None of those teams played well enough, in my opinion, to warrant taking over the number one spot. Tigers won a series, lost a series to the Cubbies, or to the Reds. Not the best look, but they're staying put for right now. They still have the most wins in baseball. They're going to stay here at number one for another week. The Detroit Tigers are, once again, your number one team in Major League Baseball. 10-1 this week. Rays, new to the power rankings. Giants at 9. Yankees, Padres, Phillies at 6. The top 5, the Houston Astros, New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Detroit Tigers, rounding out the number one. Fun show. So much to talk about. Let's do a little Fanduel segment for you because Flippin Bats is presented by Fanduel. Bet baseball with us all year long on America's number one sportsbook. And Mondays just got a little more exciting on Fanduel Sportsbook because Monday is now a 50% profit boost on yes or no run in the first inning. So you figure it out quick. Will there be a run scored in the first inning? Yes or no? It's easy. It's quick. There's 6 outs. Is a run scored? Is it not? Well, now there's a 50% profit boost on that pick. So for today, let's go Dodgers-Padres. Ohtani back on the mound for the Dodgers. Dylan Cease on the mound for the San Diego Padres. I'm going to go no run in the first inning in the Dodgers-Padres game with a 50% profit boost on FanDuel Sportsbook. That's what Monday's boost is now. Tuesday is always Dinger Tuesday, which I give you a pick every week. For Dinger Tuesday, also a 50% profit boost on FanDuel Sportsbook. Give me Gunnar Henderson against the Rays starter tomorrow, Tuesday. He's 7 for 15 with 2 homers. We love that. 50% profit boost there as well on FanDuel Sportsbook. Remember, must be 21 and older and present in select states or 18 and older and present in D.C. Opt-in required. Bonus is issued as a non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Fun show. Such a big weekend in Major League Baseball. I can't wait to talk to John Smoltz here this week about everything that's happening. He comes on the show every single week. I am traveling in a couple days to Alabama, Birmingham, where they're doing the East-West Classic game down there. A lot of fun. It's going to be at Rickwood Field. We remember the game last year at Rickwood Field. This year, it's not Major League Baseball teams. It's East-West Classic. There's a home run derby Thursday, followed by a game, which is going to be awesome. I'm going to talk all about it. I'm going to do a show all about it, everything down there that I hear and see and talk to some players. And it's at Rickwood Field, obviously the home of the Negro Leagues games back in the day. Excited to see that up close and personal and learn so much more about it. And it's just going to be a cool trip. And I can't wait to talk about it and see how that goes. So traveling there Wednesday, that game, the East-West Classic, is Thursday. So don't miss that either. But fun week. A ton happened over the weekend. John Smoltz will join us here soon to talk about, we're going to talk about this, the Devers trade, Ohtani pitching on Monday. We will know how that goes when I talk to him. So that'll be the next episode we see. But thank you all, as always. Red Sox, bad. Giants, good. Ohtani, back. Power rankings. Things are good in Major League Baseball because 2025 is the year of Flippin' Bats, my friends. I called it from the beginning, and now we're rolling. I love you all. I love this community. I love talking baseball with you guys. It means the absolute world to me. Please make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. You can also watch every episode on our YouTube channel, Flippin' Bats Pod. I love watching on there and talking to you guys and hopping in the comments and having a conversation about whatever you think from the episode. So please subscribe there, watch it on YouTube, leave a comment. That all really does help. We're on all social media at Flippin' Bats Pod everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Put a lot of fun clips out there, a lot of fun graphics, so check that out if you haven't. But the season's rolling. All-Star break is a month away. Trade deadline coming up soon. We already have one. Probably what will be the biggest trade of the trade deadline is Rafael Devers heading to the San Francisco Giants. What a fun show. Thank you all as always. And until next time, my friends, remember, find your bat and flip it. Peace. Flippin Bats is presented by Fanduel Sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in select states. For Kansas, an affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.